Hurricane Ike, September 13, 2008, flooded 75% of Galveston Island.
It was unsafe, it was inhabitable, and so then they declared martial law.
When I saw the house for the first time, I was shocked to see it still standing.
I'm Leon Phillips II, born and raised in Galveston, Texas in 1948. Retired from American Airlines as a skycap. Have a janitorial service that I've had for the last 33 years that I still operate. Yeah, I'm a BOI. I got one of the biggest BOIs around, It means exactly that, born on the island, We are the piece of land that actually stops a hurricane from being massive at the oil refineries just on the other side of Galveston Bay.
Oh Lord, let me cry. My name is Jonathan Henry. I'm 14 years old. I'm from Galveston, Texas. I attend Ball High School. I'm a freshman. I just love my family and I just love being around people. Galveston, it is wonderful. It's crazy at times, but it's just wonderful. I love being around Galveston. I love Galvestonians. The people in Galveston are wonderful.
So, Paul, can you describe your dad?
He's just like me. He's just like me, like a blast in the glass. He's the happiest, fun-filled person. And he's humble, too, and he keeps me humble, Like he always tells me, God can take it in a second. So, cherish what you have while you have it.
Well, this place has been here since the 60s, the late 60s. Of course, I wasn't born. I was born in '76, but this place has always been here, and everybody that grew up here in Galveston knows Selena's Blue Room. It's called Selena's Blue Room. Miss Selena, she was very accepting. Her and her daughter, they were very accepting, open arms. They made everybody feel welcome when they came in. As long as you ain't start no problems, So when I came out, the sign, her original sign, Selena's Blue Room, had broken and had flown in our yard. That's the first thing I noticed when I came outside the next morning before we left out. The first thing I noticed, I looked and I seen that sign. And that sign was laying right there in the middle, right in front of that truck. And that sign had been up there over 40 years.
So when Ike came along, a lot of people said, I ain't going nowhere. In my living room, the sofa, love seat, chair, table, coffee table was all on the north side of the room, as if somebody had just taken something and pushed it all at the same time. My wife and I went in and we were working our way around and everything was real slick, as if it was oil on the floor. And I said, well, come on, Leilon. I said, we need to at least start getting some of this stuff out of here, start cleaning up some of this stuff. And all she said was, Leon, I can't do this. And I said, well, we got to do something. She said, Leon, I can't do this.
We were just sitting on the porch long enough until it was unbearable to sit there. The wind picked up so bad. The door had a blind over it, like these blinds down here. And when I opened it, the wind just took it, pulled it off the hinges. And so we jumped up, we were afraid, so we jumped up and we went inside. As the night went on, like I said, the window broke, which caused the wind to rush through the house. And so I took a piece of cardboard and put it against the window. And then I took my bed and my headboard of the bed and slide it up against the window. So that kind of like broke the wind, but it was still seeping in.
That was a devastating time for me because later we got a call saying that your house is burning down. My parents, they were like, what, is this a prank? No, they were like, your house is really burning down. About 2 to 3 weeks later, we finally came back to the island. When I saw the house for the first time, I was shocked to see it still standing. But then when my grandparents and my parents walked inside the house, everything that was of value, all the toys that I had, the blanket that my great grandmother made me, the pictures of my grandparents, the pictures of my ancestors, they were all burned up in the fire. It was straight black. It was pitch black. That affected me greatly. Everything that I had, it was gone. It was gone. So I'm just lost. I'm just lost for words.
Pre-Ike, you actually wouldn't have known that Galveston had a racial problem. We're told don't go on the north side of Broadway between 26 and 46 after dark. If there was a level playing field that couldn't be moved and there were rules, you could say everybody was even. But we didn't start off even, especially African Americans. Post-Ike, everybody was on a level playing field because we all were devastated by Hurricane Ike. You couldn't buy groceries, you couldn't buy gas, you couldn't flush your toilet. And I was in this line like everybody else to get water and ice. And the lady in front of me was the lady that I had gone to her house probably 2 or 3 weeks earlier. And we were talking, and she turned around and she said, "Leon, I never thought I'd be in a line like this." And she just broke down and started crying. That was one of the things I really, it stuck in my mind because her wealth didn't do anything for her. You know, being a millionaire didn't help her. We're still waiting on the federal government. We still don't have public housing back.
I was 6 years old when we lived here, and it was public housing. And we lived in a unit right up in this area right here. Totally different than what these are. They were flat, one level, but you had it upstairs. They were flat, but it wasn't built nowhere like this. Never thought that I would see public housing like this. If the public housing was still here, you'll have kids playing, you know, riding their bicycles and playing. They're playing in the courtyard and stuff. You'll hear people playing their music in their apartments. You'll see people. Of course, you don't see it right now because it's empty, but it's just totally different. There was a lot of violence with these projects, people getting killed and stuff, and drugs and everything. I think Ike helped them out, big time.
For the first time in my life, I saw the community come together as a whole. We had to go to food trucks, the hospitals were closed, and everything was just shut down. But during that time, the community, we all came together to support one another, to just lift each other up.
When I was younger, I didn't really pay attention to climate change. But after the hurricane, I was kind of like, you know, this could happen at any moment. We have to take care of this country. I said this country. Forget this country. We need to take care of this world, you know, because clearly, you know, with the crazy thing that's been happening recently, you know, all these hurricanes, earthquakes, everything, we need to take better care of our earth.
I've heard about it. You would hear about it on the news and stuff, and I go, oh well, that's not gonna be in my time. I'll be dead and gone by the time, you know, stuff start to act up. You know what I'm saying? When Ike hit, it really opened my eyes because it wasn't the wind that destroyed the island. It was the water that destroyed the island, and the water, for some reason, the water was that was the highest water we've ever had here.
You don't believe it at first until you actually see something of it. We live on an island. We live on an island. We see it every day. And I'm just worried for my generation coming up because we only have God knows how much time left on here. And with everything that's going on, I don't want the earth to be in danger of like water rising up.
The more and more the Arctic melts, the more and more water is going to be in the Gulf of Mexico. The more and more water that's in the Gulf of Mexico, Galveston Island is going to have erosion. How do you fight it off? The Galveston Parks Board has a machine that's out in the water that's spraying sand back up onto the beach to create a beach, because main part of our economy is tourism. The warnings that are being given will at some point hit on ears that understand, who are in a powerful enough position to do something about it. I hope I don't live long enough to see it go away.
Now, after ICAT passed, my thoughts of climate change, I'm more thoughtful of it now. I pay more attention to it now, Climate change is gonna have to take everybody to fix it.
My dream for the future of our world and its people. The melodic sounds of Louis Armstrong singing "What a Wonderful World" conjures visions of people living in a world immersed in tranquility. In order to achieve that goal, there must be a focus on cultural awareness. This awareness must be framed at the community level, transported nationally, and encompassed globally. Education and exposure will reduce things such as oppression, disturbances, and unequal treatment. Although we have diverse cultures and many nationalities, we must realize that there is one race of people on the earth, and that is the human race. This is my dream to come true. Thank you.